Hello, this is Mr. Block, and I am posting what we did in class today, the 7 Principles of the Constitution bubble map. Let's get started. First bubble of the 7, individual rights, inalienable rights, which are rights that can't be taken away, that you're born with, can't be separated from the people. Natural rights are, you're born with them, like the ones in the Bill of Rights. The second principle of the Constitution, popular sovereignty. People power, popular sovereignty. And people actually are in charge of this country through the process of voting. Republicanism is a representative government. You vote for someone to vote for you, such as here at school, student council. Students vote for the student council members, and the student council members vote for you. They make decisions for you. In America, some examples are Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, city councilmen and women, in city government, are just some examples of you voting for someone to vote for you. Republicanism. Checks and balances. Each of the 3 branches check the powers of each other. So to make sure that one branch does not gain too much power. Checks and balances. One example of that is what's going on in America today. When you need a Supreme Court justice, the president nominates the person, and the president can't choose, and they become a Supreme Court justice without Congress's approval. So the nominee, Supreme Court justice nominee, has to go and be questioned by Congress, and then they vote whether or not to approve the nominee. So that's an example of checks and balances. Okay? All right, another principle of the Constitution is limited government, such as term limits. The president can only serve 2 4-year terms for a total of 8 years. Limited government. Federalism. The national and state governments share power. For example, there's a president at the federal level that leads, and then there's a governor at the state level that leads. There's a Congress in Austin. There's a Congress in Washington, D.C. There is a Supreme Court in Austin. There's a Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. as well. So both the national and the state governments share power to govern. All right, that's federalism. And last, separation of powers. Each of the 3 branches of government have their own job to do. For example, when making laws, the Congress makes the laws. Okay, that's the legislative branch. The Supreme Court interprets the law. That's the judicial branch. And when it comes to laws, the president enforces the laws. So they each have their own jobs to do, and that's separation of powers. You can think of it as separation of jobs. Okay, and the final thing we did today with our bubble map on the 7 principles of the Constitution is a summary. Always when you make a thinking map, leave 5 or 6 lines at the bottom, because we're going to use the information to do a question to summarize what we have learned. So today's question with the bubble map is, which principle of the Constitution is the most important to you? Explain why you chose it. Okay, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in class on Tuesday. Happy Labor Day.